Alright, so a lot of Republicans are extremely angry because of what Representative Ilhan Omar had to say during a speech she gave to her constituents in Minnesota.
marka daraad markii ayaan dhaxdaas markii aan maqalnay in qaar Somali ah ama Somali sheegato in Ethiopia ay la galeen ma baqaan af Somali wixii lagu dhaho agreement heshiis.
In a nutshell, you have a breakaway region in another part of Somalia called Somaliland that wants to break off. It's a breakaway region of Somalia. They signed a memorandum with the government of Ethiopia to give, at least to loan, a part of the ocean to Ethiopia. Now, a lot of the international community did in fact go against what that memorandum said, and they respected the sovereignty of Somalia. And that is what Ilhan Omar is talking about, and she's reassuring her constituents that nothing regarding anything about a foreign nation taking their ocean is going to happen.
dad badan ay soo wacay oo waxay leeyihiin Ilhan dawladda Mareykanka inaan la hadashid waaye dawladda Mareykanka maxay ka qabanaysaa jawaabteedu waxay ahayd dawladda Mareykanka waxay ka qabanaysaa wixii annaga aan dhahno dawladda Mareykanka qabo waa kalsoonidaas inaan isku qabno annaga Soomaali hadii aan nahay wadankan annaga ku nool wadankan wadankii aan annaga tax ka dhiibno waaye waa wadankii gabar idinka dhalatayne ee Congress ka fadhiso intii aniga aan Congress joogo wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan marka taas ka seexda reer Minnesota gabadhii Congress u dirsateen way idinka war haysaa sidaad idinka u dareemaysiin dantaas ay u dareemeen.
Okay, so just for reference, she gave the speech back in January 27 of 2024, and the Republicans are accusing her of violating two of the oaths that she took. One she took when she became a U.S. citizen, the second she took when she became a representative. The one that she took when she became a representative doesn't really hold much weight, because all it says is, I solemnly swear to affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same, and I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God. So, as you can see, that speech doesn't really hold much weight, because nothing in there violates what she said. However, the one that she said when she became a U.S. citizen, that's the one where she says a lot of things that do in fact to go against some of the things that could be interpreted from what she said. Because that one reads, I hereby declare an oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, and I will perform non-combatant services in any armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Now, as you can see in that speech, there are in fact some things in there that she did say when she became a U.S. citizen that do in fact go against some of the things that she did say during her speech. That's why even people like that heel-wearing guy from Florida even decided to say that she should get denaturalized and deported. And obviously, with these two things happening, she will have to lose her job. Now, some of the criticism from the other side, the Democrat side, is that, well, hold on a second. If you guys held the same position from the very beginning, there are some questionable things that did in fact happen from the right side that do raise some flags. Case in point, Florida Congressman Representative, for example, Brian Mast, wore an IDF uniform to the GOP conference meeting. This is a U.S. Republican congressman wearing the uniform of a foreign nation's military in an official meeting. Now, how does that not violate his oath as well? That should in fact violate the oath that he took. He's wearing a foreign nation's military uniform while in Congress.
intii aniga aan Congress joogo wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan.
Just to get the time stamp correct, Omar said those remarks back in January 27. However, according to the US government, this is actually the official position of the United States government. You had John Kirby, who is the coordinator of strategic communication for the National Security Council, during an interview about that exact same issue, told reporters we're certainly troubled now by what's reportedly included in the MOU. He said, quote, "We support Somalia's sovereignty and their territorial integrity, and it's got to be respected." Just to be clear, those remarks were made by John during an interview back in January 16 of 2024. Ilhan Omar makes her remarks about protecting the sovereignty of her country in January 27. So there's about 11 days, almost 2 weeks time between when the US declared its official position regarding that whole situation and when Ilhan said. So Ilhan technically did not really say anything that goes against anything that the US did not already say. And to be honest, are we really afraid about somebody from Somalia infiltrating the US government and making sure that the US government does what Somalia wants them to do? I think if we're at a point where we're worried about that, I think we've already kind of lost. The US has an actual military base in Somalia. They've invested over $500 million in operations to get rid of the Al-Qaeda affiliate group that's in Somalia. And it's not like that the US doesn't have actual interests in that region and its stability. They dropped hundreds of millions of dollars of investments into that region. Now, to be fair, there are some semantical arguments to be made. In fact, some of the stuff that she did say are problematic, despite the fact that the video translation was subpar, to say the least. Now, the implication of her speech is exactly what people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a representative from Georgia, used to introduce a resolution to censure Ilhan Omar. Now, on one side, you have people who are saying this is not that big of a deal. You have many other US politicians who have said something similar, so people should just get over it. And on the other hand, you have people who are saying this is treason and she should lose her job and lose her American citizenship and get deported. What do you guys think?